Hello there, I'm making a video for you, free of charge. How nice of me. I'm trying to teach you how to become pen pals with an inmate somewhere. And the reason I want you to know about this stuff is because not only can you have a rewarding relationship through a pen pal, but it's also the best kind of charity you could ever do. Like, if you give any money to like organized charities, I hope you realize all you're doing is paying the CEO's overinflated $1 million salary, okay? If you want to give to charity, you should do it directly by giving it to one of these people. Now, there's tons of sites probably out there to do this, but I like to use this site, jailbabes.com, because it's one of the more simple ones. There's no login, there's no hassle in finding people on here. All you do is it's just real easy site to use. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. You don't have to be looking for a relationship to be trying to help people. So, just pick someone random, you know. Now, the thing I'm going to try to explain to you next is by my experience. There's two points I want to make. First of all, see, this tells you right here, Connect Network. Now, every one of these girls is going to probably have a different network that you use to talk to them, and they're all different. And we all have pros and cons, but the one that I use the most, and I have the most experience with, is Securus. And mostly people that I talk to, in my experience, are the girls that are in Arizona, Perryville. So, even though this girl might be interesting, I mean, it tells you, like, it even tells you things like their date of birth, which is really personal information, but, so, like, you gotta know, like, things like this, like, earliest release date means that she can get out that early, but only under supervision. And the maximum release date means that this is her full sentence. So if she gets out in 26, she'll have 6 years of supervision, which means she won't be able to leave the state. So in other words, if you wanted to meet somebody off here one day, you really need to do it with someone in your own state. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait a long time for them to get over their supervision time if you ever want them to be able to leave the state. They do have interstate compacts, but that's really hard for them to get. It has to be approved by their own state and the state you want them to move to. I'm just saying, like, if you were looking for a roommate, for instance, on here, don't expect them to be able to get out and just come move in with you, because it's not going to happen unless they max out their sentence, which is rare. And some states require them to go on parole when they get out. So, anyway, that being said, I'm going to focus on what I'm used to, which is just scroll through here and find someone who's in Arizona. So there's someone right there, Arizona. Now, click on it. This computer is so crazy sometimes. They designed it so the trackpad cannot be disabled. So when you're moving the mouse with the trackpad, it tries to click stuff, and I can't disable it. It's really annoying. Anyways, what you're going to need here is either the name or the number or both. The number is easier. So, grab the number. Make sure that they're in good year, because that's the one that Securus uses. There are a few Arizona facilities that don't use Securus. Now, it tells you right here, yes, use securuscheck.net. securuscheck.net. So, you grab her, copy her number, you click on this or go to securuscheck.net, and then you're going to have to make an account. So it's right here, it says sign up, and it tries to demand all your information. Pro tip, even though they tell you, like, make sure you give all your true information, you don't really have to do that, okay? They're not going to verify, like, your ID or anything like that. So since privacy is a right, not a privilege. Especially when you're dealing with inmates that you don't know, you're going to want to give like a pseudonym, a screen name, a stage name, whatever you want to call it. So, you just basically have to fill it out. I'm not going to go through here and fill it out. Their software is kind of crappy. Sometimes it crashes. It's not that bad. Like, for instance, if you draft messages to them, always do it in a different app or browser. I'm using PC, of course, but like you want to use Notepad to draft your message, because sometimes it can just crash while you're typing in their own software. So you want to just compose your message in a different app and then copy and paste it into their app. So you fill it out. Now what you can do here is, like, eventually, like I said, hopefully you're going to decide to donate something to some of these people, because believe me, they deserve it. They have nothing, okay? Now, if you didn't know, I'm going to talk about the law real fast. The Constitution says slavery is banned, except for prisoners. If you notice, if you read the 13th Amendment, it's like a way they slipped in slavery. It's like they said, there's no slavery allowed except for inmates, which is nonsense. They should have just said there's no slavery allowed, period, but they didn't. So, basically every inmate's turned into a slave, whether you know that or not. Now you know. So they're all basically working for you, or they're working for companies that you probably buy from, and they're making like between 5 cents an hour, and the lucky ones make about $1 an hour on average. So, and then they're expected to buy everything that they need. They're fed like pig slop, farm slop, and they have to buy their own food if they want to eat anything remotely healthy. They're not given any vitamins, so they have to buy those, which cost like 15, 20 bucks, so it's like a fortune to them, because it's like a month's pay for them sometimes. So they really, like, if you give them $20, it's gonna be like a month's pay for some of these people. You give it to, like, some kind of charity like Red Cross or something, the 20 bucks isn't even going to pay, anything really. It's going to go to someone's Christmas bonus for doing nothing. So, the point is, don't let the administration steal all the money you donate. Give it to the girls directly. So anyway, I already have an account, and I also wanted to mention that, like, what you're going to want to do probably to retain your anonymity is just, go on Amazon or go to Walmart, buy some kind of a Visa or MasterCard gift card, because Securus definitely will take gift cards. Now, JPay is their sister company. The way it works is, excuse me, the way it works is that JPay is very strict. They don't take prepaid cards unless it's the kind that you can register your name and address on. Then they will. That's very few of them do that anymore. Generally, you need like a green dot card for that. But if you do that, you can still use a prepaid card, probably green dot brand. But anyways, JPay is the way to send them money so they can buy tangible things like food, vitamins. They have to buy their own soap and all that kind of stuff. So that's how you donate to them you use JPay for that. Now, if you want to use Securus to donate, Securus will give them money for their media account, which is like, it'll let them buy stamps to write to you or other people, because you have to buy stamps to talk to them. They cost 25 cents each, which is cheaper than a real stamp, and it's a better deal, since you don't have to print, put it in an envelope, write, and you can put a lot of text, 20,000 characters. That's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 pages of text. And so, you send them the media account, they can buy things like music, they can buy songs. They're kind of expensive, maybe $1 or $2 for each song, but they can buy entire albums for like 15, 20 bucks. They can buy like, see, that's the thing. They can buy music, they can buy games for their tablet, because they get tablets. That's what makes Arizona one of the best places to talk to them. Because even though they're busy a lot, because a lot of them work and go to school, but I'm going to log in while I'm talking. So even though they're busy, they have tablets. So it's easy. Like some prisons, like they only get like 10 minutes a day, and they have to share like a desktop computer to log into the emails, and they have like literally no time to talk because they don't get any access to the computers. But see, now here, these people have their own personal tablet, so anytime they have time, they can just get on their tablet. They could probably spend, especially on like their days off or whatever, if they have one, they could spend like all day on their tablet emailing you if they want to. Another thing you have to remember is everything you write is going to be screened by a staff, probably staff of secures and staff of the prison. So it takes, I've seen it, I mean, it depends on if you use the app. Like here's the app, and the PC version is different. I'm pretty sure the app is faster, but generally speaking, the app is going to be like, you can only send like tweet-sized messages, like small messages. So I prefer the PC version. But if you write them, like the longer the message is, the longer it'll take, almost for sure. So I've seen it take anywhere between 2 to 6 days for a really full long message to get sent through. But if you just send like a paragraph or less, they'll probably get it in like an hour or two. So it just depends on if you want to just keep sending stamps, paying for stamps to send small messages that go fast, or if you want to be efficient and send really long messages that take a long time to get to them. So anyways, you go to e-messaging, click sign up. They can also give you the way to call them if you have to fill out a form. And that form, I think it says on there you have to sign it under penalty of perjury. So if you want to go that route, you might have to decide that you're going to give all your real information at that point. I haven't done that yet, but if you actually want to call them, talk to them, but of course your calls are going to be monitored too. If you want to call them, it's free to sign up, not to call, but to sign up. But they're trying to require you to give all your real information. So the inmate might wind up with your real information, I think, if you do it that way. So be careful about that. But this video is not about calling them, even though you can ask them to sign you up for that if they are willing. They can. It all depends on how you guys get along. But like, you don't have to chat with them if you don't want to. The best thing to do is just be like, "Hi, I've decided to donate to you," and then send them money. Because, like I said, it's the best kind of charity. They really need it. They deserve it. And you gotta realize, some people say like, well, they're just jailbirds. They don't deserve anything. That's bull. A lot of these people, especially in Arizona, that's a really, like, Nazi state. Because a lot of people there are innocent. And yeah, you'll say like, any inmate can say they're innocent. But no, for real, I'm convinced they prosecute a lot of innocent people there because their prosecutors are just ruthless there. They just threaten them with like 20 years for like drug possession, and then they end up settling for like a 10-year plea deal just because they're scared of getting 20 years, and it's just like ruthless. And I know a lot of people that are in there that are definitely innocent, got charged with crap like possession just because it was inside their car and it belonged to somebody else. But it was their car, they were driving the car, so all of a sudden it's in their possession too, which is bull. And everyone knows it's bull, but that's the way the law is written. And like I said, the whole government is broken, okay? In this whole country and every state, because this constitutional amendment, 13th Amendment, that Lincoln helped pass, basically incentivizes the government to be your enemy. They incentivize the government to have a conflict of interest because they want as many inmates as they can get, and they don't care if they're guilty or not. Because every inmate is a new free slave for them. You put all these inmates into slavery and they make them work. Like I said, sometimes for nothing, sometimes 5 cents an hour, 50 cents an hour, $1 an hour. For example, even the AZ DMV, called AZ MVD, is staffed a lot of times by inmates. So if you're calling there, you might well get an inmate being your customer service rep. So they do a lot of work that you don't even realize they're doing for like society or even for you. So they definitely deserve your help. Now, a lot of them, like I said, are innocent. They got convicted because, you know, the jury system is supposed to help be good. But you know what? Most of these juries that they end up with are like completely like indifferent, and all they want to do is just get home in time for dinner, and so they'll just vote any way they can to get this verdict over with fast. So say there's 12 of them and 7 of them think she's guilty, 5 don't. 5 will just switch right away to guilty just to get it over with and get home. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty rare that you find a jury that actually cares enough to spend their own extra time to really deliberate and really care about the case. That's my opinion anyway, is that you don't always get a benefit of having a jury. It depends on the actual people. Because the jury, you know, all the state cares about, these states care about, is saving and making money. So they want inmates so they can work for them for basically for free, for slave wages. And then the jury gets paid slave wages too to be a jury. Like, they're not getting paid minimum wage to be a jury. They're getting paid next to nothing to be on the jury. You know? So it's like, they just have no incentive to stay there any longer than they have to and really do a good job. They just want to get out of there. And that's not good at all for anybody who's in a jury trial. Like I said, most of these cases just do plea deals because the prosecutors scare the crap. That's their job, I guess. That's how they do their job. It's not how they're supposed to do their job. They scare the crap out of the inmates. And, you know, the public, usually they end up with public defenders. Public defenders, you know, don't give a crap. And you get very limited time. Here's terms of use. Probably says all kinds of nonsense. Read it yourself if you want. I already did this before. I don't know why I'm thinking you do it again. Anyways, so, you know, they get screwed over. Every way you could think about it, they get screwed over. They get a public defender that sucks. You know, now, pro tip, you know, in case you're ever in the situation, the best thing to do is to defend yourself. Because the public defender isn't going to give you the time of day or give a crap about you or your life. They're going to give you very limited time. But you have the right to defend yourself. And you, defending yourself, obviously will put a lot more time, energy, and care into your own case than the public defender ever would even dream of doing. Okay, total stamps is 0. I haven't bought stamps in this account. So this is how you search. Now, usually, I don't know why you put that. So you switch to ID number, the one we copied earlier. ID number. Why is it doing that? Oh, you have to pick state. See, I hate programmers. You can't pick this until you pick. Then why is it letting me even pick it then? You have to pick state first. Arizona. Usually they're in the ACDOC. The rest of these are usually just jails. But this is the actual prison. The long-term prison. You search. The girl that we just saw on Jail Babes is there. So now you just add her. And these girls, like, they don't really get a choice. Like, you just, if you want to add them, you add them. They can't really stop you. Now, you can block them. And the problem here is I'm going to have to log into another account, I guess, because I'm not going to buy stamps right now just to show you how it works. But, like, it's going to immediately try to force you to buy stamps, because if you don't have any stamps, like, normally it would show you the list of all your contacts, but you have to have stamps for that. I don't think it's, oh, okay, there, it does show you anyways. Okay, so now you can, like, block them if they ever get out of hand or anything. You can block and unblock them easily, but they cannot block and unblock you, but they can remove you from their list. But if they ever did remove you from the list, you could just add them right back again. I'm not saying that's a good idea, I'm just saying the way the software is designed, if they ever wanted to remove you, they can just add them right back, which is kind of lame for them. But anyways, so you can do stuff like transfer stamps to them, which is alone is like kind of a donation, because every quarter is a lot of money to those people when they're in there. So if you wanted to transfer, you could just pick this person and put how many stamps you wanted to put, but I have 0. So, you know, maybe you could send them like 10 stamps. So they could send letters to their other friends and family besides you. Or sometimes when you send a message, you can just have it attach a stamp, and then in that case, they have to use it to reply to you, or they can't use it. So, anyways, history is, well, there's one spot here where it tells you how much money you donated to them before. So let's see. If you wanted to donate to them, the way to do it is, how do you do it? It's been a while since I used this. I think you go to contacts. I guess you probably have to have a credit card on file before it'll give you the option to send them money. I guess that would make sense. But I'm going to go log into my other account so I can show you more about how to do this kind of stuff. So let me do that real fast. It'll let me. Anyways, what am I forgetting to talk about? So it's the best way to give charities to these people. I'm not seeing where you donate. But I thought it used to be right here. Okay, let me log into my other account. So I can, maybe it's going to be in that account. Maybe he's hiding it right now because I don't have the credit card on file. Now another thing you could do, by the way, if you don't want anyone to know, like, who you are or what you're doing or anything, you know, because you're paranoid about logging into a prison or talking to inmates or whatever, or staff reading your messages, you know, you can just turn on the VPN, and the best VPN is Proton VPN. So I just screwed up kind of and logged in without turning on the VPN, which is no big deal, but I'm just saying I always feel better connecting to that site with the VPN on, because it's just so monitored. Like, they're crazy basically in a way, because they just think that everyone that talks to inmate must be some kind of criminal, which is nonsense. But it seems to me like they think that. Even if I'm just being paranoid, they're to be safe than sorry. So I should have already logged in with the VPN on, but anyway, the VPN was off a minute ago, now it's on. So it's showing you all the information. Like, this phone number is not my real phone number, by the way. I mean, like, it doesn't verify your phone number or anything like that, unless you actually, maybe if you actually call them. Like, I never used the calling. So let me see if I can remember how to do this. I have 5 stamps left. Now if I launch this, you're going to probably see my private messages as a problem. Yeah, video connect. Oh, there it is. Duh, secure debit. That's where you send the money in. That wasn't in the other list. Anyways, people I've donated to in the past. Like, for instance, this girl, Brandy Hardenberg. She's really super cool. Her number, C25842. And you can see, there, make deposit, history, so you can make deposit, add funds. It's gonna pull up your information you have in there, which may or may not be accurate, depending on whether you decided to give your real information or not. And, you know, if you want to enter your credit card information, it's real easy to do it. You just decide, how much you want to donate. You can donate up to $300. And, I don't know. It tells you right there, a penny is $300. Yeah, I'm going to donate a penny. They seem to charge you either $3 or I don't know, I've seen it charge you nothing before. I don't know exactly how it works. Let's see. Say you want to be generous with some $99. Well, maybe they changed it. Because it used to be like a $3 transaction fee, but lately it's been saying 0. They seem to maybe have changed it. So anyways, like if you donate this money to them, like I said, oh yeah, so I finished that sentence before. They can buy music and albums and individual songs. They can buy games for their tablet, which are good games to buy them is like, say, the game Worms is a really good game. But they have tons of games. You can discuss it with them if you want. Ask them what games they have, what games they want. They don't have like any game ever made, but they have a lot of good selection. But the thing is, with movies, they cannot buy movies or TV shows. They can only rent them. So, in the end of the day, you don't have, like, it'd be cool if you could, and they should do it like this, where you could, like, buy them stuff that you want them to have. Like, it'd be cool if I could shop for them, you know what I mean? They should have that, but they're stupid. So you can't shop for them. All you can do is send them money and let them shop for themselves. But, you know, you probably want to mention to them, like, hey, don't waste the money on renting movies and TV shows, because that's just a waste to just rent it. Basically, you get to, like, watch it for, like, 24 hours, and then it's gone. So you want them to either buy music, or buy a video game. You go this route. So, once you click next, it's going to charge you, and that card, I'm pretty sure that card doesn't even have $99 in the first place. But the point is, you know, people need to start doing this more often, and there really ought to be like a national charity. Like, I want to start my own charity. Like, honestly, if I knew how to get funded or something, I'd register my own charity, start trying to get big donations so I could actually just, like, say I got $1 million donation from someone like Bill Gates or something, you know, to my charity, which would be a charity just basically doing this. I would just go spend my day looking at people online, like at jailbabes.com, you know, and just basically sending them $300. Be like, here, or do it through JPay. I guess I could show you JPay real fast. So what else am I forgetting to show you? So I could show you my contacts. So I have to find contact again. The girls I donated to before. Yeah, I just, you know, like the Brandy Farnberg, she's a really cool girl. I donated over the last couple of years, like, I don't have a lot of money to donate, but sent her like 15 here, 20 there, you know, but she can only use it, like I said, for the media. She can buy stamps, video games, music, and rent movies and TV shows. And I think that's kind of about it. That's all I could think of is you can do with that money. That's why it's better to use JPay. Because you could ask them for it if you want, or just do it however you want, but most of them probably would prefer JPay. And it's basically, once you make the Securus account, it's the same account. So, the same account I just used for that. You log in. What happened? Didn't work. What's wrong with you, buddy? Is it mad at me because I'm using a VPN? JPay is a lot stricter than Securus for some reason. What does it want? It didn't let me log in for some reason. Okay, let me try turning the VPN off. Looks like JPay might have a block on the stupid VPN, because they're like I said, way more strict for some freaking reason. See if it'll let me log in now. No, what is it doing? Is it saying an error? It's just silently not letting me log in. All of a sudden. Well, this is, like I said, this is JPay. This is where you can give them money to buy real tangible items. What is it seeing? Is their website broken or something? Oh gosh. I have no idea why it's not letting me log in all of a sudden. Something wrong with my account? Let's see, search. Alright, let's see if we can do it without logging in. Like that girl we had earlier, there's Brandy. Anyway, normally it would let me just log in. I don't know why it's not letting me log in right now. Maybe they're having an outage or something. But anyway, it's pretty self-explanatory how to use it. It's trying to get me to create a new account. So, you just need their ADC number, and then it finds them for you. You got an account, you log in, and then it's pretty simple. You just click like the send money part, and then these girls really appreciate your help. Because they literally have nothing, and you work really hard for very little pay. Most of the girls I talk to, are average making about 50 cents an hour. And most of them are probably like slowly dying of malnutrition. Nobody really cares. Because they feed them crap. They don't give them vitamins, because they can't buy vitamins. They give them crappy food. The only chance they have of buying any remotely good nutritious food is if they have enough money to buy it, and usually they don't. Some of these girls are even to the point where they take their hard-earned low pay and they send it back to their family at home, like to their kids, which is absurd, because these people should be focusing on their own needs, not their family's needs. But some of them are just so selfless and dedicated to their family that they send it to their family instead. So, anyways, I don't know what else to say about it. I just hope I've inspired some of you. You can use the app if you prefer. I'm on a PC, I'm not going to use the app. Just get on Jailbabes, or maybe writerprisoner.com, or whatever one you want to use. This one's just, the other ones are slow and hard to navigate to me. Oh yeah, okay. You reminded me, I forgot to tell you. Here's what you have to do. Say, you want to verify the information, like the profile says this and that, but you don't know for sure. Now, every state is different, of course. They have different rules and regulations and stuff, but we're focusing on Arizona. So it takes you to their website, which they keep changing their website, by the way. I don't know why. They have money to burn there. They have so much money to burn in Arizona, they keep changing their website around. It used to take you right to the inmate part. Now all of a sudden that link doesn't take you there. This is like news about the prison. But it's not what I'm here to look for. Now where's inmate search? There it is. Locate inmate. They keep changing the website, so it's hard to even keep track of what's going on. Now it's going to use that same number that you used before on Secure CJPay to find them. Search the number. It's going to bring up their info. Now I don't know, they try to scare you and say like, don't ever send this info to other people or to the inmate or whatever. I don't know. But I mean, it's public, so I should be able to review it on this video. It says don't send the information to them. She's been in since 2021. She got an 8-year sentence for being in the wrong place with the wrong people. But, so it'll tell you everything you need to know. It'll tell you, give you a picture. She's a pretty girl. Tells you their height, their weight, hair color. They've been there since 9/16/21. CSBD means supervised release. Fiesta is the actual subunit she's in, or she's housed. This is her mailing address if you wanted to mail her. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. If you would like to send them books, there is a way to do it, but it's really complicated, sort of. But last time I checked, they have an approved vendor list, and one of the approved vendors is Barnes & Noble. So 99% sure Barnes & Noble is still an approved. Now Amazon is not approved. So don't use Amazon. And Walmart, I'm pretty sure, is not approved either. They want it to come direct. Like those places all sell like third-party sellers on their sites, so they won't take it. Barnes and Noble, if you buy from Barnes and Noble, it's coming from Barnes and Noble, so they take that. So if you want to send them like books and magazines, they can get those sent directly to them at this address, at their mailing address, right here in Goodyear, Arizona. So, like it'll tell you her whole record, all her history. It'll tell you things like what they're doing in prison, like she's been going to Ashland University. She got her bachelor's degree. I don't know why it says bachelor's and then associates. It's like backwards order, but she got her associate's and her bachelor's degree. She just got it in 2024, which is like a year ago. So, she's been trying to better herself there, but like I said, it's really hard because you know what? Like I said, they're all suffering from malnutrition. The state doesn't feed them nutritious food. They have to buy it to even get a chance to buy nutritious. And there's really not much available. Mostly they only have things like ramen, but some of the girls say that they can get produce sometimes, so I guess it just depends on the current inventory, but the point is, they're malnourished, they don't get enough sleep, because the place is noisy 24 hours a day, and plus I heard lately they started training dogs there, so now there's dogs barking, like these girls are all, so they're malnourished severely, they're sleep deprived, they have very limited access to medical care, unless they're dying, and this girl actually got pneumonia there and almost died. So, you know, they're just in a horrible situation, and they're expected to work, and if they want to go to school too, they can. I'm pretty sure they have to either work and go to school, or just work, but I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to just only go to school. I think they make them work. So anyways, they're sleep deprived, they're malnourished, they're working and going to school, they're making almost no money, they're trying to learn crap with their brains like dying of sleep deprivation and malnutrition, which sounds like a lot of people who are not in prison too. But at least those people have a choice. Inmates don't even have a choice, okay? They don't have a choice. They don't have any access to get food, or not much. And if they do, it's really expensive for them. Especially the girls who are making like 25 cents an hour to buy and get food. Because they charge them full price, or they actually charge them more than full price. So on top of them making nothing, the commissary there, not only do they charge market price, they charge like more than market price, you know what I mean? They're trying to rip them off top of it, so like an apple might cost them like $1, and they only make 10 cents an hour, so they gotta work 10 hours to buy an apple. Like, you think they're gonna buy an apple? No, they're not. They have to work 10 hours to buy an apple, they're not gonna buy it. If someone sends them money, though, for food, then that's different. Then they might actually end up buying good nutritious food because it was a gift. They're not gonna work their butt off to buy an apple. But if you send them $1, then they might buy an apple because it was a gift. It's like sending them an apple. And they deserve it. See, this girl she's the one that used to work at the DMV. Now I think they changed the website. They used to tell you their job history on here. Like, it would tell you all this plus their job history. But it used to say right on here, AZMVD. Now they seem like they changed that around. It doesn't tell you the job history. This is like her school history. Not her job history. Anyway, point is, this girl's really cool. If you don't really want to mess around with jailbabes.com and look for someone in particular, you could just go straight to her. I can vouch for her for sure. She's really cool. She's a really smart girl, even though, to be honest, she was a really smart girl, but over the last couple years, it seems like she's kind of like deteriorating a little bit. Like I said, due to the malnutrition and the sleep deprivation they have. Her number is 225842. If you'd like to donate to her, she and I would both really appreciate it. If you want to find someone else to donate to on Jail Babes, she and I would also really appreciate, whoever you find would really appreciate that too. Just, most people make way too much money and don't even realize how much money you're making, and you're probably wasting it on nonsense. So instead of wasting it on nonsense, why don't you do something nice for someone else for a change, maybe? I don't know if you do or not. I don't know who you are, of course, but the point is, the average person rarely donates to anybody, but these girls really need your help. So instead of, spending $10 on a coffee at Starbucks, send it to this girl instead, please, because you could, literally change her life. Probably save her life, because they need this kind of help. The state is not helping them. The state is exploiting them. The state is enslaving them and not even taking good care of them in the process. They're not even feeding them good food. They're letting them have good quality sleep time or good quality sleep environment. Like there was a news story not that long ago where in the summer they were the prison was getting up to 90 degrees inside, and it was a big mess because it's always 110 degrees in Arizona in the summer. I mean, they're not getting taken care of. The only good thing about this prison at all is that they get a tablet, and that's kind of, from what I've experienced, kind of rare. You get a tablet like you have in a computer, a computer tablet, so they can play games, watch movies, listen to music, assuming they even have time to do that. Some of them do, some of them don't. This girl was working and going to school at the same time. She didn't have time to do much of any of that stuff. So, like I said, she was involved with some people who got her in trouble. She's innocent of these crimes, but she just got basically guilty by association. And, according to her, the guy she was with, the main guy who was doing all these crimes, ended up getting killed somehow. I don't remember how. I don't remember the whole story she told me, but according to her, that guy's already passed away. So, she got in trouble for his crimes. He's passed away. She's rotting in jail, malnourished, sleep deprived, poor. She sends her. This is one of the girls that sends her money to her kids. So, whenever she does get money, she's sending it home to her kids. And she's totally neglecting herself. And it makes me really sad and upset to know that, because she needs to focus on taking care of herself right now. She can take care of her kids later. She gets out, she can start spoiling them maybe. But right now she needs to spoil herself, take care of herself. This is a really kind, sweet, smart girl. She's deteriorating in prison though, because, like I said a million times, they're just not taking good care of her. And she can't take care of herself because I think she's one of the ones that makes I think she's up to $1 an hour or something, and it's not even enough to buy good food and vitamins, let alone send money back home to her kids. So, this video is already 45 minutes long, so I'm going to wrap this up. I hope I've explained it to you. I don't know what else there is to say, really. Go to Jail Babes, find someone in Arizona, go on this website to verify their information that they put on their profile. You can see it, the pictures they put on Jail Babes a lot of times is catfish picture, it'll be them 20 years ago or something. So if you really want to know what they look like, you can go on here and they have a picture here. And just drop them a line. Even if you just talk to them, it's better than nothing. See if it's someone you want to help. See if it's someone you want to donate to, because a lot of these girls are really cool. A lot of these girls are in prison, but they're innocent. They just had a bad trial, or prosecutor did some nonsense. It's really rough how they treat them in Arizona. And they have a tablet, so she already graduated, so she probably has plenty of time to chat now. Her tablet, they can have their tablet whenever they're not working, they can be on their tablets, contact you back. So you can make a friend. Now, like I said before, if you want to actually meet some of these people, it's better to do it in the state you're actually in. So if you're in Arizona, then like say for instance, whenever she gets out in 1/6/2028, then she could meet you, you could pick her up probably even, or I mean like she's allowed to go anywhere in Arizona. You can go to Arizona yourself. If you live there, great. She's not allowed to leave Arizona. If she wants to leave Arizona, she has to file tons of paperwork, and it probably will get rejected. Because she has to stay there under this supervised release. So, if you really want to meet somebody off to one of these pen pal sites, better to do it with the state you're in. But you could do both. Find someone in your own state. You want to meet them someday, but find someone in Arizona just to have someone to talk to and be your little sponsor. You can sponsor them. They could be your charity case, whatever you want to call it. You know, just like adopt an inmate, basically. It's under depending on your means, 20 to 50 bucks a month. It's like you send her 50 bucks a month. It's like sending someone else 500 bucks a month because it goes a long way for these girls. These girls don't make anything. They're really struggling. They really need your help. So please pick a girl or pick her. Send her some money. Send her some well wishes. Let her. That way she'll take care of herself. She'll be able to buy vitamins. She'll be able to buy fresh produce, fresh food, fresh fruit. Have something that's actually nutritious so that her brain doesn't rot. So she won't turn into a zombie like some of these people do. So just try to help these people out. You can. She'll have time to talk to you in emails. You might even hit it off and become good friends. You might even hit it off and plan to meet someday. As long as you're willing to go to Arizona. So that's how it works. Sorry if this video took too long. Sorry if I repeated myself a lot, but I'm trying to drive the message home. I don't know if some of you people like to enjoy some beer and wine every now and then, so for those of you who might be a little bit wasted watching this video, it probably was good that I kept saying the same thing over and over again. For those of you who are focused, I'm sorry if I repeated myself too much. I'm not going to recap it again. I'm going to end this video now. Just take action, please. Go on there, secure us, sign up, send money to an inmate, save someone's life. Really, they really need your help. Alright guys, thanks for your time. I hope you'll do it. Please comment. Please let me know if you actually do this, because I want to feel like I personally, I have very low income, so I'm trying to get other people who might have high income especially to start doing this more, because I alone can't do much. But if we all do this together, we can really start helping a lot of people's lives. These inmates are good people a lot of times. It tells you what they did. That girl was she did not commit any kind of violent crime. Basically that Brandy girl in particular, all she did was her passenger had a gun in the car, and it wasn't her gun, but she got charged for it anyway. She really messed up. She needs your help. Please, please send her some money so she can buy food, vitamins, and that's important. Food, what's more important in life than food and vitamins? I mean, you need nutrition. You can't just eat junk that they feed you. Some of the food in the prison says on the label, not fit for human consumption. It's made for animals. It's made for farm animals. It has no nutritional value. You want me to get into nutrition now? Probably not, but look it up. Your brain and your body needs all kinds of vitamins and minerals to function and not rot. So please help literally save these girls' lives, because without your help, they're going to deteriorate. Malnutrition is a real thing. Even if the prison won't probably actually let them drop dead, but they'll let them get pretty close. They won't mind if they turn into zombies, like brain dead zombies. They won't care. As long as they're still breathing, they're not going to help them. Like when these girls get out, they'll probably, if they even go to the doctor and got a blood test, they probably show that every single nutrient essential for life is like almost zero in their bloodstream because they're so depleted. They're overworked. Underpaid isn't even the word for it. 10 cents an hour? Are you serious? Nobody makes 10 cents an hour except inmates because they're enslaved. Okay, please help the slaves. You can also help them other ways too by contacting your Congress people and telling them to change the law and the rules about how prisons operate. But in the meantime, they really need your money because they gotta buy food, vitamins. It's all really expensive for them. They gotta buy things like soap so they can stay clean and hygienic. They really, really need your help. Like a lot of these girls will prioritize hygiene. That's, I guess, how girls are. They'd rather buy soap and shampoo than vitamins, but in the long run they're going to suffer because sometimes the shampoos are even toxic too. Some of those chemicals in some of those shampoos are toxic, and they don't got no vitamins to even help protect them from those toxins. They prioritize shampoo to have clean hair over vitamins, which is like, do you understand how important vitamins are? If you don't take vitamins now, you need to start immediately because, especially this day and age, the food is just completely depleted of vitamins. There's like almost no nutrition in the food. Even organic food is low nutrition, but conventional food even worse. In other words, some people act like vitamins are a luxury or like, well, you're a health nut to take. You're not a health nut to take vitamins. You're just trying to actually survive because you need them. Like vitamins are not some kind of bonus thing that you can take optionally. Your body needs vitamins and minerals, especially vitamin D. That is crucial. I mean, people get depleted on that all the time. It's one of the few vitamins that your skin can make if you stand in the sun, but they don't have free reign to go out in the sun anytime they want. They need vitamins and minerals. They need this stuff because vitamins are as important as food. In a lot of ways, the main reason you need food is so you can get vitamins. Like we just talked about, most of the food is getting so crappy. Even the food we can buy on the outside is often pretty crappy and junky. Let alone the food that they have access to. The food they get for free in there is complete farm slop junk. And the food they can buy there isn't much better, but it's better than what they get fed for free. Like I said, it just depends. Some of them can get access sometimes to fresh produce. You have to ask them directly if you want to know for sure. But the main point is, they do sell vitamins there, and they need them real bad. And these girls are not $15 to you or me or anybody with out on the outside with a decent job. $15 is like nothing. But to them, like I said, 10 cents an hour, do the math. What is that? 150 hours? You want this girl to work 150 hours to buy vitamins? What is that? That's like a month. Isn't it? 40 hours a week? You want her to work for a month to make money to buy vitamins? They're not going to do it. They're going to prioritize things like shampoo or whatever other hygiene things they need. So, like I said a million times, please help them. If you're someone of means, please give generously because you don't need to worry about someone matching your donation because every dollar you give them is like the equivalent of like 10 hours of work. So if every dollar you give them is like the equivalent of like $100. Okay? So I think I said enough. Thank you for listening. Please do what you can. Please let me know in the comments if you actually end up donating because of this video because I'll feel so much better knowing that I convinced somebody to donate because I don't have the means to do it very often myself. I'm on a very tight budget myself. Right now I'm barely getting by myself. So if you're someone with means, please take my advice. Please donate to these girls. They are definitely in need and they definitely deserve your help. Thank you. Have a nice day.